Do you want to be part of something bigger? At Siemens, we use AI to transform the everyday. Our engineering solutions drive innovation and change. We're leading in technology and building a sustainable future. Join Siemens and make an impact to transform the everyday. Apply now and be part of something extraordinary. Visit siemens.co.in/careers.
This is Scams and Cons News with Jim Grinstead.
In this week's news, scammers are leasing private swimming pools for parties, and the homeowners aren't pleased. And gold is gaining ground on gift cards as a way of paying off scammers. But we begin with the story of a scammer who wouldn't let a few dollars get in the way of a good payday. Channel 8 in Singapore said a woman received a phone call shortly after she applied for her student pass. The person claimed to be an officer from the Immigration and Checkpoints Authority. The caller then provided a name, work ID number, and encouraged her to verify his identity by visiting the immigration building. The caller also said the woman's phone number was linked to a fraud case. The caller said the woman should contact the Shanghai Public Security Bureau to work it out. The scammer's goal was to keep her on the line so she couldn't check the information. They talked for about a half an hour, and that's when her prepaid phone card expired and the line went dead.
We're sorry. You have reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service. If you feel you have reached this recording in error, please check the number and try your call again.
A few minutes later, the phone rang. The scammer had reloaded the card and called back under a new number. Before the second call came in, the woman's roommate said the whole thing was a scam. The woman also got a text message from her telephone company indicating that her account had been topped up with $11. Fake calls from the Immigration and Checkpoints Authority have generated 500 reports in Singapore between April and June of this year. That's a significant increase from the previous quarter. If you use Microsoft's OneDrive, you may be at risk of having your data stolen. It's called paste jacking, and our AI presenter voice, John, reads from the Hacker News story.
The attack unfolds via an email containing an HTML file that, when opened, displays an image simulating a OneDrive page and includes the error message that says, "Failed to connect to the OneDrive cloud service. To fix the error, you need to update the DNS cache manually." The message also comes with two options, namely, how to fix and details, with the latter directing the email recipient to a legitimate Microsoft Learn page on troubleshooting DNS. However, clicking How to Fix prompts the user to follow a series of steps, which includes pressing Windows key plus X to open the Quick Link menu, launching the PowerShell terminal, and pasting a base 64 encoded command to supposedly fix the issue. The command first runs ipconfig/flush DNS, then creates a folder on the C drive named Downloads. Subsequently, it downloads an archive file into this location, renames it, extracts its contents, and executes a script. The campaign has been observed targeting users in the US, South Korea, Germany, India, Ireland, Italy, Norway, and the UK.
OneDrive is a service like Google Drive, Dropbox, and others where files are stored in the cloud. It's a tough job, but regulators in the United Kingdom have ordered telephone companies to identify spam calls that use fake UK phone numbers. In 2019, the Guardian newspaper explained how the process works. It said scammers can display any bank's customer service number on the mark's phone, so the mark will think it's a friendly number. If the mark already has the bank's customer service number in their contacts list, all the better. Texts work the same way and will be grouped with other texts that may have been sent or received. One provider, working voluntarily before the regulations kicked in, blocked up to 1 million calls a day since July 2022. All phone companies must comply with the rules by January 2025. This is Scams and Cons News. What's worse than having a load of squirmy, squiggly worms on your roof? How about a scammer who put them there and tries to sell you a service to get rid of them. CBS Colorado has reported on the scam earlier. Then other victims came forward to say they were taken too. The television station ran with the bait and uncovered an international story.
International because investigators determined Dean Morgan and John McNamara, Irish nationals, were trying to leave the country after their business appeared on CBS News Colorado and caught the attention of local investigators. Did you ever fathom that the scope of this fraud was to the extent it was?
No. I think initially we thought it was pretty limited to a small area of the Denver metro area.
The duo was arrested at JFK Airport in New York, attempting to board a flight to Dublin. Both suspects in this case now face charges of racketeering and theft, and prosecutors say they believe this scam was taking place not just here in Colorado, but in California as well. We were able to put the victims in this case, some of them, in contact with a roofing company that was willing to do the work for them completely for free to repair their roofs. And the Colorado Roofing Association also reached out to us and said they were willing to do what it takes as well to make sure that everyone realizes it's not all of the industry that does things just like this.
Gold is shiny and beautiful. It's not the rarest of metals, but it's expensive to find and extract. It is vital in industries that need something highly corrosion resistant and transmits electricity easily. Plus, it looks nice as jewelry. With gold more readily available, scammers have been conning people into buying gold bars to hand over. Gold is also untraceable. Scammers have been busy in the Washington, D.C. area, as Fox 5 reports.
Back in April, an 82-year-old woman got a pop-up ad on her computer telling her she'd been hacked and to call a number. When she called, the person on the line told her she needed to wire over more than $40,000 to get software to protect her from Russian hackers. Then they kept targeting her, posing as government officials and telling her that she needed to convert all her money and her assets into gold bars and give them to these people for safekeeping. This went on for weeks. She handed over $900,000 in gold before she realized something was off, something was wrong. She called police. Montgomery County detectives set up a sting. They stepped in before she handed over another $2.5 million that she had converted into gold using an online website. The man who came to pick it up, 19-year-old Zhenyong Wang, out of New York.
There have been at least 19 victims in one county alone, and their losses total hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's been hot in much of the U.S. this summer, so who wouldn't want to have a pool party? A family of 5 were having a great time when the pool's owner came home and asked them what the hell they were doing, although probably not in those words. The family rented the pool on Swimply, a mobile app that allows people to lease private pools by the hour. They paid around $35 to take a dip in the suburban Montreal pool, but the homeowner hadn't put the listing on the market. The thought is that a former tenant posted the listing because it had photos of the pool and surrounding area. Since the family didn't have criminal intent, the police said there was nothing they could do. The homeowners noted it could have been serious if they treated the pool with strong chemicals that day. Officials say this wasn't the first time pool squatters have used Swimply to rent out properties that didn't belong to them. In May, a California couple found a stranger had rented their backyard pool just 1 week after they put their home on the market. And finally, in the scams and cons, what were you thinking department? A scammer pretending to be a representative of her bank convinced a woman to get naked and spin in front of her computer's camera. The caller said it was necessary so the bank could confirm her identity. Yeah, really. And she gave them $6,000 first.
The caller said there was a fraudulent charge on her account, and if she didn't move the money to a different account, it would be stolen. The man then gave her the numbers to a Chase Bank debit card and told her to add it to her Apple Wallet. Cheryl Harris with the Cuyahoga County Scam Squad says it's a very common tactic.
When we're panicked, we're not able to focus on that part of our brain that gives us real information or helps us think rationally.
The woman stayed on the phone with the crook and went to the Huntington Bank in Mayfield Heights and withdrew $6,000 in cash. Then she went to this Chase Bank on Som Center Road. Then the caller told her to tap the debit card in her Apple Wallet at this ATM, transferring nearly $6,000 into an unknown checking account.
It's almost like money laundering in a weird way, but it's like they want you to take your cash from the bank and then they want you to put it in this and then they want you to transfer it to that or take cash and put it into a crypto ATM. It gets real convoluted.
When she got home, the same man called her on FaceTime. He told her they needed to do a full body scan to verify her identity. The woman told police she undressed and spun in circles on FaceTime. When she heard the scammer laughing, she realized it was all a hoax.
Some marks deserve to be called suckers, and I think we found another one. This is Scams and Cons News.